All right, guys, today we're gonna make a quick, easy, delicious paleo meal of fried chicken, a special fried chicken, green beans, sauteed green beans, and roasted cauliflower. Before we get started, get everything ready. Knife and cutting board, compost bowl, have salt on hand, olive oil on hand. And to make this quick today, I've got one saucepan frying pan for my chicken, one for my green beans, and a 9x13 pan to roast my cauliflower in. Now, if you have a little extra time, you can only use one pan. You can saute your green beans after your chicken's done. But for now, these are a quick wash. It's not going to take long afterwards. I'm just going to wash them right after I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 pans. All right, get all your ingredients out. Preheat your oven to 400. We're going to pop the cauliflower in there first, so it'll be nice and easy and all done. All right, so let's start. Grab your pan, put it in front of you. Grab your head of cauliflower. Give it a quick open. And let's pull off those extra leftover leaves that are on the bottom. Now this one has an extra long stem, so what I'm going to do, chop it right off. Keep going there, pulling them off. And you finally expose the base of the cauliflower. All right, now what we're going to do is cut it in half. That way we can see the florets really easily. What we're going to do is cut them off. Just want to do a little trimming there, have them pop right off. What we're left with is the core of the cauliflower. And we can roast that too. I'll show you how to do that. But first of all, we're going to chop these florets up into bite-sized pieces and throw them in the pan. Do that one in quarters, just whatever you like for a bite-sized piece. Be fairly consistent, then they'll roast consistently. There we go. 2 and 3 pieces for that one. These florets, watch, they just come right apart. I don't even have to cut them. Goes a little more. Let's do the same thing with the other half. Pop those florets right off. All right. There we are. Chop those into pieces. Oh, this one, see, comes right apart. Oh, that one needs a cutting. All right. Now see how cauliflower gets all over the cutting board? You can scoop that up and put that right in with the rest. All right, now I like to use the stems. They're no different. They have the same flavor. You can be slightly stronger sometimes. So I'm going to cut off the ends, the very ends. And then what I'm going to do is just cut these into strips. There's no use in wasting good food. It's delicious. It doesn't have the exact shape, but it will fit in perfectly with the rest of that cauliflower. All right, there's our head of cauliflower, all ready to go. I'm going to do a nice little sprinkle of salt all over it, maybe 2. And then a drizzle of olive oil. All right, now I'm going to pop this in the oven, and I'll give it a stir in just a little bit, but my 400-degree oven is ready to go, and this is going right in there. Boom, all right. All right, with the cauliflower in the oven, let's get going on the green beans and chicken. We're going to start the chicken off first. Let's heat up our lidded pan to medium-high heat. Get it going there. Let it heat up a little bit, and we're going to add the oil to it in just a second. Grab a meat cutting board if you have one, so you can separate your meat and veggies. And get you ready to use your chicken, and we're going to fry it up. Now these are chicken thighs. Nice, full of flavor, a little dark meat, a little fat on the edges, organic, nice, no antibiotics, no hormones. We're going to cut them into little strips here. Get them ready to go. And I like to leave the fat on. It adds a little juiciness to the dish. All right, some nice little strips here. All right, throw those all in a pile. Keep on going. Now chicken's a little hard to cut. It has a bit of an odd texture when it's raw, so I do the sawing motion with my knife. Keeps it nice and easy and cuts without it sliding off the meat. Give it a slice. Now these small strips will fry up really quickly and they'll be covered with the seasoning, so it'll add extra flavor and get extra kick in there. All right, just keep going here. Now if you want, you can trim off that extra fat. It's totally up to you. All right, now what we're gonna do is add a nice go around of olive oil to our pan. We want a fair amount of oil in there. And as all paleo meals, a little extra fat sure doesn't hurt. All right, we'll grab our seasoning. I threw mine in a container because I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna it's a bit of breading the chicken before I throw it in that pan. I'll bread it and throw it in there. Now, the oil isn't quite warm enough, but it'll heat up in just a second. Just keep throwing those little pieces in there. Toss them with the mixture. Throw them in. This is like chicken fingers in a really yummy, healthy way. And good meat. Now the mixture that the Easy Pantry uses is a mixture of nuts and fennel and some Middle Eastern Egyptian spices. Adds an extra unusual flavor I find delicious. All right, just keep throwing that chicken in there. It's frying up. If we have to do two batches, that's no problem. We'll just continue breading it. Doing that. All right, throw them in there, coat them up. Put them side by side in there. They'll fry up. All right, we'll tuck one in the corner there. All right, see how they're all arranged and frying in that oil? Delicious. All right, now I have extra chicken, extra seasoning. I'll do another batch as soon as these are done. I'll put the lid on that and let it cook. We're gonna let it fry on that side. We want that meat to cook with the lid on, and then we'll turn it over and it will crisp up a little bit more. All right, set your meat cutting board aside. You can continue frying as you go. But we're gonna go ahead and start on the green beans while we're waiting for that chicken to do some of its frying. All right, get your veggie cutting board in front of you again. Grab a spatula and let's stir our cauliflower a little bit. Grab a hot pad out. We're gonna pop the cauliflower out of the oven. Now if you like pepper, a little black pepper on the cauliflower is delicious as well. I'm gonna give it a stir, just coat it with that olive oil a little bit again. I'm gonna pop it back in the oven. All right. Now, to get started on the green beans, we have fresh green beans that have both ends on them. What we wanna do is cut those ends off. Now you don't have to necessarily cut off the blossom end. It tastes fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but we don't like that stem end. It's a little bit too rough to eat. So we're gonna arrange them, stem ends all together. It's gonna be a little tedious, but you can get the kids to do this. They love helping out in the kitchen. Or you can do it quickly, it doesn't take that long. All right, so grab handfuls like this, and let's just chop off the ends. Just run your knife up and throw that in the compost. Set those nice beans to the side. I'm not cutting off the flower end. You may if you want. It's no problem. And just keep going through that. Grab a bunch of beans, get all the stem ends and put them together. It seems like it's laborious, but it's a rather quick cut. It definitely makes your meal a lot more enjoyable. All right, quick cut off the ends. Throw them in my good pile. All right. Now green beans have so much fresh flavor and color. I always loved when I was a kid to go out to the garden and eat fresh green beans raw. Thought they were delicious. And the way that we're cooking them, we're just doing a quick saute, and it keeps a lot of that freshness in it, and that bright green color remains. None of that overcooked stuff going on. All right, almost done here. Pop those green beans together. Chop off the ends. If you forget one, take it off. Pile them up. All right, just a few more here. Sometimes at the end there are a few stragglers that just need to go in the compost bucket. It's the way it is with green beans. All right, they're all arranged up. Let's give a final chop here. All right, into the compost bucket those go. We have our pile of green beans all ready to chop up and throw in the pan. Now let's check on our chicken before we do that. It's frying nicely. Just turn over those little pieces. Give a quick flip. They're all cooked and tender. And the nuts that are in the mixture of the spice, they cook and those oils are released, and they're very delicious. Now you can use tongs to turn this too as well. All those little pieces can sometimes be hard to get back onto their new frying surface. But when you put that lid on, it cooks all those little pieces really quickly, so they're easy to turn. And they're essentially cooked. All we're doing is crisping them up a little bit. There we go. Put a few more of them turned in there. And those nuts are roasting right alongside the meat. It's delicious. All right, now I'm gonna leave the lid off and let them fry a little bit more, and that will crisp them up. All right, chicken's frying up. Let's heat up our big pan for the green beans. Nice, medium-high heat. Throw a little olive oil in there and let that heat up. All right, now grab your green beans, put them on the cutting board. They don't have to be in any specific order. Nothing perfect about this. Oh, chicken's splashing a little bit. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just chop them into pieces. It's a big pile of green beans, so you might miss a few. Just going to continue that up. If you want to do them whole without chopping them, they're delicious that way as well. All right, those green beans are all cut up. They're good to go. Now, while we're waiting, let's check our cauliflower again. Give it a quick stir. Pop it out of the oven. Oh yeah, it's roasting nicely. With a tinge of brown on it. Love that. Oh, added a little to my green beans there. Let's put that back in. All right, let's pop that back in the oven. All right, our green beans are ready to go. The pan is heating up. Pour that oil around in a little bit better. All right. Now, before we add the green beans, let's take out the chicken that's done. Set it on our serving platter. It's ready to go. Look at those beautiful, tender little morsels of meat. Yummy. Set that aside. Bread a little bit more of your chicken. Bring that to the front. Give it a quick breading. Throw it in. It'll fry right up. You can finish all of it with that. See, these little pieces cook up so fast. Delicious. All right, and that little bit of nut mixture in the pan that's left from the previous ones, no problem. It'll just be added to these new ones. Quick breading and throw them in. All right. You got a whole pan full of chicken there, cooking along. All right, let's get on with the green beans. Throw the lid back on your chicken, and let's add the green beans to their pan. In they go, and they're gonna start sauteing right away. You're gonna hear that sizzle. And the awesome thing about these green beans is they just take a few minutes. They're so quick and delicious. All right, we're gonna do a sprinkle of salt on top. All veggies need a little salt. Stir that up. All right, now a really wonderful thing to this dish are the additions that we're gonna add to the green beans. Let's grab the garlic. Crush these 3 cloves, side of the knife, smash. Quick smash. Now a quick saute of the garlic in the green beans adds a lot of flavor, and the garlic retains its spice and all of its garlickiness without being burned. Really enhances the green beans. All right, pop those off. Do a little, oh, got a little skin in there. Do a little sideways slicing. And then chop it up a little bit more finely. All right, let's throw that right in with our green beans. Give it a good stir. See how the heat makes them a bright green? It's beautiful. And they might get a little tinge of caramelization, a little brown. That's going to add a lot of flavor. You just can smell the garlic wafting up. All right, I'm turning them down a little bit, cook a little bit more slowly. I'm going to check on my chicken. Take a peek. It's not quite white on top, so it's not quite done. In the meantime, we can stir our cauliflower. Pop it out of the oven. Give it a quick stir here. Now, if you want to get your cauliflower a little bit brown tinge, you can leave it in there. It's cooked the way it is. I'm going to pop it back in until my green beans are done. All right, we have a lemon here. Before we add it to the green beans, let's roll it around on the cutting board. This helps release the juices that are in those cells inside the lemon. Gets it all soft and squishy. All right. Give those green beans another stir. They're on that heat. They're cooking quickly. Oh, there goes one. They're such a beautiful green. All right, now what we're gonna do is top them off with a lemon. Cut that lemon in half. Squeeze the juice, lemon is this side up, on top of the green beans. And turn them off. Now you can do the same thing. You can add it to the green beans, or you can spread this over the cauliflower. It depends how much lemon you want to have in your meal. I'll throw it over my beans here. All right. Now, if you have extra chicken, continue cooking it. At this point, you can serve up your meal. You're ready to go. Grab a plate and let's serve it up. Now, pull the cauliflower out of the oven. It's nicely roasted. Delicious, good to go. Put a few pieces of chicken on your plate. Grab a little cauliflower. Top it off with some bright, fresh green beans. Well, that's a paleo meal anybody would want to eat. Enjoy.